Daphne?
Yes.
Poor Blue. Are you feeling odd? Come on. I'll let you dance with me. Come on. You're the man. Take the lead.
Sorry.
Well, I should think so, too. You'll out of my stockings. Don't mind them. They're all just jealous because my husband's the only one clever enough not to get himself killed.
I say, do you mind if I cut here?
Ernest.
Hello, Blue. You'll just have to find another partner, Daff.
All right.
I was at the Somme.
It was a bad show.
They were all bad shows. Where were you?
Passchendaele.
Exactly.
Milne, you're back.
Rupert.
How splendid you look. And Shepard, Punch's funniest writer and best illustrator. Ready to put the smile back on our faces?
Oh, yes. In fact, I wrote a brilliant little farce while I was at the front.
Did you really?
I sat there with my typewriter, glass of sherry, knocked it out while the whiz-bangs popped all around us. Sometimes the gas would steam my glasses up, you know. But apart from that...
Well, this is wonderful news. I can't wait to read it.
Right. Where to start? A few years ago in Sarajevo, one archduke was shot. And the next thing we know, 10 million non-archdukes are shot. And for what? What a jolly little farce. But I know that the final curtain is surely coming for archdukes and top hats and the like, and for all the other fools who led ordinary, decent folk to the slaughter. So, what can one say but tinkety-tonk?
Tinkety-tonk.
Tinkety-tonk.
We were always exhausted. Never quite knew if we were awake or dreaming. And the flies. Big, bloated blue bottles. Not just the flies themselves, but the thought there used to be maggots. When there were maggots, they were eating...
That's quite enough of that.
I'm sorry, I thought you were asleep.
You know, if you don't think about a thing, then it ceases to exist. It's true. I read about it. It's all in Plato. It's called philosophy.
A philosophy?
I hope you know you're laughing at Plato. Life is full of frightful things. The great thing is to find something to be happy about and stick to that.
It's quite all right. It's all going swimmingly.
Where is he, Blue?
Blue?
That's me. Perhaps I should...
She's a silly girl. Here he is, sir. Perfect birth, sir. However, Mrs. Milne was unaware of the mechanics of the thing.
Ah. Daphne.
Get him out.
Daph.
I will not have him see me blubbing.
Probably best, sir.
Latest Milne production debuted at 6:20 this morning, weighing in at a startling £9. At least the midwife says £9. I have the distinct impression that midwives are a little like anglers, you know, prone to exaggerate the size of the catch.
Shall I propose a toast?
A double toast is to be a revival of Alan's play, Mr. Pym Passes By, at the Kingsway.
All right?
Yes.
I'm the same. And my motorbike backfires.
I've been thinking of moving down the countryside where it's peaceful and quiet. Don't tell Daphne, for God's sake.
Up here. That's what we need to sort out.
A toast. C.R. Milne.
Hello? Hello? Not completely sure which way up he should go. Still alive? You know, daft boys can be fun too, you know. I'm a boy.
I just keep thinking, such a terrible feeling. He's a boy. He'll grow up. He'll put on a uniform. And he'll go off to war, and I will be waiting again like I waited for you. Never knowing.
You listen to me. I just fought in the war to end all wars. There won't be another one.
I couldn't stand to love someone who's going away again, Blue. Not like that.
His name is Christopher Robin, but we generally call him Billy.
Oh.
You thought he was a girl. So did we until he was born. Please, take a seat.
She was going to be called Rosemary, and I bought her all these delicious dresses.
I see.
It just seems a pity to waste them, don't you think?
Of course.
Oh, you have had an interesting life. Looking after the Chilean ambassador's children. What fun. How terrific parties, I should think.
It was very enjoyable. We travelled a lot.
Why would you want to look after him when you've had such fun, then?
My mother is quite ill. She'll be needing some attention from me, so staying in one place will be useful.
Well, we're going on holiday, just to Italy for a month or so.
Oh, very wise. By the time you come home, I shall have your little man settled into a nice, steady routine.
That's very reassuring.
You know, the one good thing about the war is there are lots of marvellous women around like you who are never going to get married because there are no men. So you can take on work like
Daphne.
this. Yes? But it's true, isn't it?
Mommy and Daddy are going to a ball. Don't they look lovely? Goodbye. Look, Billy, Mummy and Daddy are off again on holiday. Holiday.
Thank you.
It's Daddy's first night.
No, how can it be his first night? Blue is about 100 years old.
It's the first night of his new play, Silly.
Well, for all you cricket enthusiasts here in the audience, I'm sorry to report that rain has stopped play at the Oval. Here in the West End, though, of course, nothing stops the play. This play, I wrote this play. This play was. I wrote this. The play was.
You're supposed to make a speech. You're supposed to say something sweet about
The Princess Royal, accompanied by Princess Maud, was in a box. Sir James Barry and the elegant Mrs. Mill.
See, Alan, if you hadn't deserted me, people wouldn't take the liberty of making remarks like that.
Remarks? What remarks? Elegant's not a remark.
Elegant means over 30. Everyone knows that.
You'll never be elegant in my
What did we
eyes.
fight that war for? Why doesn't anyone talk about it? Why does everyone act as though nothing happened?
Well, it is over.
What am I doing about it? Nothing.
You're doing what you're good at, writing plays.
Nothing's changed. Don't you see, if nothing changes, then the same thing will happen all over again. I need to get out of London.
I think a nice day out would do us all the world of good. Ernest, you must come
I think
too.
Blue's talking about a picnic.
I'm talking about leaving for good. Talking about going somewhere quiet and decent and trying to think for once. Do something worthwhile.
Surely a West End playwright needs to be in the West End.
I've had enough of making people laugh. I want to make them see.
Well, I think it's a perfectly horrid idea.
Daphne.
Horrid and ridiculous.
Daphne, don't you see?
For heaven's sake, don't plead. If you're going to do it, get on with it.
Your woods.
Oh, yes, as far as the eye can see. Well, a bear does feel more at home in the woods amongst the wild animals.
Are they really wild animals?
I can't continue this conversation till we've been properly introduced.
I'm Billy Moon, and you're Teddy Bear.
Edward Bear, if you don't mind.
I don't like that name. Mummy will help us think of a new one.
You do know it was me talking, not the bear. I was just playing, you see.
Yes, I was just drawing you in.
Of course, that's silly of me.
Do you have room for one very small piglet?
Yes.
I have some very quiet friends. There'll be no trouble. Do you have any objection to tigers?
No.
Say goodnight to Teddy.
Edward, remember?
Edward. Of course.
God bless Mummy. God bless Daddy. God bless New. Amen.
Forgotten someone?
Who?
Keep thinking.
I've made this study my priority so that you can get back to work while the rest of us unpack and choose curtain fabrics and so on. Your files and notebook...
I'll unpack them.
There's really no need.
Stop. Stop. Look.
Me. I forgot to bless me. God bless me. Amen.
Madam.
Thank you, Mrs. Penn. Shh, shh, shh. Daddy's working. Shh.
Can't get you.
Over here.
That was awfully cute.
Bit higher. Come on, higher.
Hello there.
Mummy said we mustn't talk to you while you're working.
This isn't that sort of work. This is proper work. Come here. Hold this. Push down hard.
What's it for?
We're going to have chickens. We'll need a chicken run. Somewhere they can move about and not be eaten by foxes.
Are there real foxes?
All sorts of wild animals here, I shouldn't wonder.
if you up.
More smocks.
Yes. Isn't he going to look such a chicken? Where is he?
He seems to have gone for a walk with Mr. Milne.
Mr. Milne needs time and quiet to write his blasted book. He can't have the boy trailing everywhere after him.
Hello.
Oh, Billy Moon, where on earth have you been? We've all been so worried.
As with Blue.
Exactly. And if you keep on like this, you're going to get Nanny the sack.
Daff. It was good that he was there, in fact, in the end.
Nevertheless, how are you going to get any writing done if you're doing her job for her? I mean, really, we might well not have a nanny if she...
Now, see, you've made the boy cry.
No, she hasn't. She hasn't. You have. Leave her alone.
Billy, don't talk to your mother like that.
I only went because of you. You said they are wild animals, and there weren't any wild animals.
We saw squirrels.
Squirrels aren't wild animals. And anyway, it's lucky there weren't any wild animals, because he's scared of bees.
Billy.
Just take him away, would you?
Apparently, he was expecting bears.
From Sussex. I don't see what's funny about it. The boy has ridiculous expectations because you have made him ridiculous promises. Just as you did with me. First I had a baby just to cheer you up. Nearly killed me. And it didn't cheer you up. Then we moved to the countryside, surrounded by wild animals.
The whole point is that there are no wild animals.
And the only response you have is to be facetious. Really. Nothing is enough for you.
Daphne? Daphne!
Helen, how lovely to see you. Welcome to your study. Look, here's a desk. Do you remember desks?
What are you talking about?
You said you were bringing us here to write something. So, write something. You are a writer who doesn't write.
I'm thinking.
Well, let's hear your great thoughts.
I'm thinking about where we go next.
London.
No, not us. England. Where does England go next? The country is wounded, Daff. It's lost men, yes, but it's lost more than that. We need a sense of purpose. Don't you see? The nations of the world, they got together and banned slavery. Well, what if we did the same with war? What if we all nations, got together and decided that when there was a conflict, when there was a dispute, war was no way to settle it. War would go the way of the slave trade.
Yes, that proves my point exactly.
No, you weren't making a point.
My point is I have to go to London to look at Whiteley's new wallpaper collection.
What? Right, fine.
Yes, it is fine, because do you know what writing a book against war is like?
No, tell me.
It's like writing a book against Wednesdays. Wednesdays, Blue, are a fact of life. And if you don't like them, you could stay in bed, but you can't stop them because Wednesdays are coming. And if today isn't actually a Wednesday, it soon will be. Goodbye.
Fine. When will you be back?
I'm not coming back.
You're not coming back. Fine.
I know you, Blue. You're a writer. If you don't start writing properly soon, you'll be unbearable. Write, and I'll come back. If you don't, then I shan't.
What about Billy?
What about Billy?
You'll have to take him with you.
Boys are not interested in wallpaper.
They're not interested in being quiet either.
Perhaps if Mum is going to London, we could both come and
Read about it.
I should have thought that was obvious. Anyone who doesn't want it to happen again.
Everyone in England seems to be cross. Strikes, protests, even you seem cross. Would you mind if we got back? This party's rather wearing on the old footwear.
You didn't ask me when the book would be ready.
Get it out of your system, and then come back to your senses, will you?
Daddy may be asleep. We are very, very late.
No.
Wait here.
No.
Get back.
Sir.
Get back!
I'm sorry. It's only
Get away from me!
It was just a balloon.
Just don't come near me. Just stay there.
Come on. Quick, quick, quick. I'm sorry we woke you, sir. Would you like one too?
Just a balloon, as you say. It can't be helped. Olive, Mrs. Milne.
I'm afraid she was delayed, sir. She said she'd telephone to you just as soon as she had a moment.
Don't go, stay!
Just for a little while.
No!
Edward Bear will be here to keep an eye on
That's
you.
not even his name. Please, Nu, don't go!
You're being very unkind. Look, you've got all these creatures
Don't
and
want
everyone...
them!
Billy! Billy!
Hate
That's enough! I'm walking out of this room and I won't come back in again until you have recovered all of your nice ways.
No! Don't go! No!
I'm trying to write. The noise, it's...
Yes, sir. Sorry. I'll do my best to calm him down, sir. He's a little upset about my going away.
Of course. You're going away.
I thought Mrs. Milne had said.
Mrs. Milne is always saying things. I don't expect them to happen.
All the same, I shall be gone for at least 3 nights. Thank you.
Wait. Your mother. I'm so sorry. I completely forgot. You must go. Of course you must. I hope she gets better.
Billy is not happy about my going. She's all the family I have, sir, and she's very unwell.
Mrs. Penn will look after us.
Mrs. Penn's away too, sir. I did the cooking today.
Ah. Never mind. Old soldier, you know. See to myself. So what do we like for breakfast?
Don't know.
You don't know what you like?
I've forgotten. Where's she gone anyway?
To buy new wallpaper and so on. To make our house look nice.
Look, Mummy knew.
She's gone to see her mother, who is very ill, as you well know. You must remember her in your prayers. What about porridge?
Yes, please. I don't think I do like porridge after all.
You said that you
I
like...
know, but I've never had it. I just like the sound.
You've had eggs before.
Usually they're in shells.
Boiled eggs.
When is she coming back?
Mummy?
No!
She'll be back in 3 days. But of course her mother's very ill, so it could be longer
I
than...
hate her! Sack her and tell her never to come back!
You ought not to hold your knife and fork like that.
Why shouldn't I?
Because... if someone were to fall through the ceiling, they'd come down right there and be impaled on your fork. And then they would bleed out all over your eggs and ruin your breakfast. Do you see? Better.
New says you're writing a book to stop people going to war.
Hmm.
War is rotten.
I know. I was there.
So I think your book is a jolly good idea.
Thank you. You're the only one that does.
I'd really like if you wrote a book for me.
Hmm?
I'd definitely read it.
Shall we go for a walk?
Aren't you working?
It doesn't seem likely. Come on.
A soldier shot his mother by mistake, and that's how Winnie ended up in the zoo, with everyone staring at him. I'm going to call my bear Winnie. It's Winnie, short for where he comes from, Winnipeg.
Hmm.
It's just bees.
Maybe there's a hive. Let's take it out.
There, up there, in the tree.
You any good at climbing?
Not bad.
Right. We'll give it a go, only be careful. Where there are bees, there is honey. Where there is honey, there are bears.
There are no bears in Sussex.
Then what's that? Oh no. I think he's seen us. We'd better capture it. Yes? Yes.
Got him. You put him up there, didn't you?
You overestimate me if you think I can wrestle a bear into a tree. Stay alert. Where there's one bear, there might be a whole flock of them. Good.
Mummy says they have to have names.
Well, the tiger should be called Tiger.
Tigger is better than tiger.
Better how?
It's more tiggerish.
Hmm. Fair enough. Make sure it's tight. You take that bit, and you get it through there.
That's what we like. I remember now. Pie.
I say, there seems to be rather a lot here for just the two of us.
Yes.
I'm missing Daff. You're missing New. Shall we ask the others in? Just this once.
Oh, some of us don't like pie, you know. Don't like it at all. But don't let that spoil your enjoyment.
Don't worry, Eeyore, we've made special provision for you.
Oh, I'm sure the pie is wonderful. Could one but see it?
Oh, Piglet, I do apologise.
That's quite all
It's
right.
not the same when you do the voices. It's better when Mummy does them.
I see. Now, Lord, make us able to shift the grub upon the table. Go. Daff? Why on earth are you still up?
I wasn't sure if I was supposed to go to bed or not.
It's nearly midnight.
No one put me to bed. I brushed my teeth.
Have you said your prayers?
Have you done your writing?
Go to bed. Just written a poem.
Will I like it?
I should hope so. It's got lots of rhymes in it.
Is it about what tigers eat?
Why would it be about that?
It just seemed like a very interesting topic.
No. It's about a boy who tries to look after his mother even though he's only 3.
3 is very little.
But it rhymes with lots of things.
Why does she need looking after?
She goes to town without telling anyone. She goes to town without telling anyone. She goes to town in a golden gown, and no one can find out where she's gone.
Never ever.
King John puts up a notice offering a reward if anyone can find her. How much reward do you think?
It needs to be a lot of money, I suppose. 40 shillings.
40 shillings. It's quite difficult to rhyme with, though, isn't it? Shillings.
Billings.
What about pounds? Pounds.
Clowns.
There are clowns now.
Why King John, though? Why not King Richard, the Lionheart?
He's a terrible fellow. Always off crusading, biffing people, getting himself taken prisoner and making the common people stamp up for his ransom. Besides, he was practically French. King John stayed at home.
Come on, don't get frostbite. And don't get lost. I'll help you. We should follow it.
You sure? You sure we shouldn't just run away?
Never.
All right, then. Wait! No, we're all right.
It's not very good at hiding its tracks.
Maybe it doesn't need to. Maybe it's scarier than any other beast.
The snow keeps falling, we'll lose the trail.
Look. We're back where we started.
We've been following our own footprints, haven't we? Sorry, Blue. Sorry. I think it's about time for summer now. Don't you? I think Owl lives up there, you know.
Does he?
If you look ever so carefully, you can see his front door.
Come on, then.
Where to?
Home, I should think. Ernest.
Mel?
I think I've got something for us.
Tigger's in a cage.
He doesn't really belong here, and there's no one quite like him. So he gets confused and a bit scary.
Cage is a bit harsh, though.
Fantastic cage, though, eh? Billy made it.
Blue is teaching me woodwork. He's the best at it. He should do woodwork instead of books.
Hey.
There it is, up there. That's where Owl lives.
Oh, well, how are you going to get it up there?
I don't know.
Simple. Blow these up. When we have enough, we'll float you up to the branch. One, two, three.
I think we probably need more floaty breath.
Floaty breath. Milne, what are you going to do about it?
Maybe if we brushed our teeth more thoroughly, eh?
Yes!
Intruders. To arms, gentlemen.
It's not intruders. It's no, it must be. No!
Might not be.
Billy Moon. Oh, Mrs. Milne. We've missed you terribly. Life in the countryside's so limited. Yes, well, I did notice that. So I brought some friends back from the city with me to stay. Have you seen my little Jimmy anywhere?
Joey. Baby kangaroos are called Joey.
Not this one. His name's Roo. I'm Kanga, and this is Roo. Where's Nanny?
I don't understand. You mean to say it was just the two of you this whole time? How absurd.
Are we to know where you've been?
Oh, good heavens, no. I mean, what would be the point? The great thing is, I'm back now. Don't you think?
Yes. As a matter of fact, I do.
You see?
Yes. I think I do see. I sent you a poem I wrote. About the boy.
Yes, I read it. It was very sweet.
Just a bit of a lark.
I sent it off to be published.
What?
That made me happy. Thought it might make lots of people happy.
Published by whom?
The Vanity Fair. They were very pleased with it. Isn't it rather wonderful?
Well, that is rather wonderful.
It's their biggest selling issue for simply ages, apparently. People are buying extra copies to give to their friends.
Perhaps I should ask Ernest back down. Ernest and I are putting your bear in a book.
He'll like that.
We're putting you in it too. Will you like that?
I'm not sure. If I'm in a book, people might think I'm not real.
But then it'll be a surprise when they find out you are real.
And when they find out Winnie is real?
We can't call him Winnie in the book because Winnie is a girl's name.
No, it's a bear's name. It's different for bears. Nuisance.
I like names with the. William the Conqueror, Richard the Lionheart, Joanna the Mad.
You made her up.
Certainly did not. She was the Queen of Spain.
Winnie the Bear.
Everyone knows he's a bear already. He wasn't called Richard the King, was he? Or Billy the Moon.
But you're not the moon.
Christopher the Robin.
I'm not a robin either. What will you call me in the book?
Not Billy Moon, because that's what we call you. It'd be confusing.
But if I'm really in the book?
Christopher Robin, then. Because it's your real name, but it's not who you really are. You all right, old man?
Those fields in France. They'll look like this now, won't they? As though it never happened.
Blue, when I'm grown up, how old will you be?
About 100, I should think.
Oh! There's an echo. Come in here. Hello! Hello!
My name is Blue! Who are you?
I'm Billy Moon! And I'll be back soon!
Ernest. Look.
Does he need a hat?
Certainly not. Winnie the Pooh is a creature of bedtime. He's either just got up or just going off. He's reverie in bear form.
Winnie the Pooh.
Winnie the Pooh. It's rather...
Inexplicable?
Yes, which is a good thing. Is it a good thing? Yes. Winnie the Pooh.
She's here! She's here! She's here!
Good heavens, who is it? Queen Mary? It's only been 2 weeks.
Have you missed me?
Yes.
Sorry it was a bit longer than I said.
We could adorn the tree using balloons.
I was terribly sorry to hear the news about your mother.
Thank you, sir. She's gone to a better place. I saw the Vespers poem about his prayers hanging on the wall of a friend's living room. They'd ripped it out of the magazine and framed it. Apparently a lot of people are doing that.
Well, that is just the beginning. He has been terribly, brilliantly busy.
Thank you, Mr. Milne.
Thank you very much.
I say, you're almost awfully good at climbing trees.
Who are you?
Oh, stay exactly like that. Lovely. Like a wood spirit.
Excuse me?
Oh, Brown. Mary Brown. The Times. Good heavens. You must be Nanny. As in Vespers. The nanny with the blue dressing gown. The one that God blesses.
I'd just as soon not, if you don't mind. Billy, come down. If you'd like to speak to Mr. Milne, please be so good as to telephone to him and make an appointment.
Oh, but I don't want to speak to Mr. Milne, you see. I want to speak to Christopher Robin.
I'm afraid that won't be possible today. Billy, let's go.
Why do you call him Billy?
My proper name is Milne, but when I was small, it came out Moon. I'm good at coming down trees too. Did you notice?
Oh, I did. I also noticed that you have cardboard tied to your legs.
In case of dragons.
I say, you don't know where I can get some of that dragon-proof cardboard, do you?
That's
I mean,
enough,
it's such a
dear.
bother when the dragons set fire to my stockings.
Good day to you.
Did you get it?
Sorry.
From the Times? Oh, well, that's rather good. Don't you think that's good?
No, ma'am. I can't say I do. The boy is happy here and... Sorry, ma'am. Sorry, sir.
Yes. The Times is very good.
Hello? The evening news wants to put Willie on the front page. Yes, that'd be fine. Yes, I think so.
They're not for you, sir.
Yes.
They're nearly all for Master Christopher.
Yes, I see that.
I wonder if I might ask, sir, if in future you couldn't come to the post office and collect them. Only there being so many, it's hard to keep my balance.
Of course.
Oh, thank you, sir.
For Christopher Robin.
Oh, but I'm not really Christopher Robin.
For the animals, then.
But they don't eat chocolate. I do, though. And so does Nu.
Who is Nu?
She's Nanny.
Nanny's real, too.
Of course she's real. I tried ever so hard to save some for you.
You saved 3. That's very good.
Why does everyone like Winnie the Pooh so much? He's my bear. Why don't they get their own bears?
Well, you see, after the war, there was so much sadness that hardly anyone could remember what happiness was like. Then Winnie the Pooh came along, and he was like a tap. You just turned it on and happiness came out.
But I'm not Christopher Robin, really. I'm Billy Moon.
That's right.
And you don't have to share me with anybody.
Except Mummy.
Yes, but that's only a little bit.
Mm-hmm.
Come on, Christopher Robin. Give him a cuddle. He is your daddy, after all. Oh, come on, Mr. Milne. A little affection, please.
Surely he can't be expected to answer all of these. It's a lovely day outside, and I thought that we could...
Could we go to the woods?
I've got heaps of writing to do, I'm afraid. Perhaps later.
People of Ashdown, I give you Queen Elizabeth I, King Henry VIII, Beau Desir, Lord Nelson, and now a little boy and his bear, who will be forever playing somewhere in our hearts. I give you some of the most important people who ever visited this magnificent forest.
I can assure you, Drucker's tea room's doing excellent fruitcake.
I don't quite approve of fruitcake except at weddings.
Nu, was I good?
Oh, ever so, ever so. Shall we all go for tea?
No, thanks.
Billy, that was a bit rude.
Once upon a time, a boy might want to be Huckleberry Finn, rafting down the Mississippi. Now he wants to be Christopher Robin, playing in the 100-acre wood. One little boy, though, really is Christopher Robin. And here he is, in England's Ashdown Forest itself, the home of the real Winnie the Pooh. Surely this is the happiest young man on earth. And here's his mother and father. They're here in America to promote the latest adventures of the most fashionable bear in the world.
Mrs. Milne, what's the first thing you want to do in America?
Well, I should love to go to a speakeasy.
Mrs. Milne is joking, of course. She knows that speakeasies are illegal.
Of course I know they're illegal. That's what makes them fun.
Really? No, thank you.
I can't believe I'm talking to the father of the real Christopher Robin.
Well, you know, the boy in the book isn't exactly my son.
But his name is Christopher Robin, and he does like to climb trees.
Yes, that's true, but we don't...
I imagine making up all those stories at his bedside.
That's wonderful. Excuse me, I must find my wife.
Have a lovely evening. Isn't it all marvellous? It's just like London, but with more money.
I thought when people liked a book, it was the author they soaked up to. All anyone wants to talk about is Christopher Robin. Watch. Hello?
I know you'll be talking to the real Christopher Robin tomorrow, and I wondered if you could wish him a happy birthday from all his American fans.
One arm, two.
What's that?
Downstairs and answer the door, young man. You're master of the house.
Who is it?
Surprise.
Mummy and Daddy!
Well, no, it might not be Mummy and Daddy.
My jolly guy.
Did you like that, Christopher Robin? Should you like them to play again?
Do I know? Do I want them to play again?
I should think you do. They're a present from Mummy and Daddy. Happy birthday, Billy Moon.
We had a wonderful day. I'm working in the treehouse. It's nearly done.
So you had a happy birthday?
The best ever. We had sausages in the woods. But it's been raining. Raining and raining. News says we might have to build an ark.
Well, don't go messing up my tool shed.
Oh no, I think she was making a joke. When will you be home?
I'll be back before you can say Jack
Robinson. I already said to Jen you're not back. You know, New is terribly bad at bowling, and I'm afraid I'm not getting enough practice in the net.
Sadly, we're running out of time.
Happy birthday, Christopher Robin.
You've been listening to Mr. A.A. Milne, author of Winnie the Pooh and father of the actual Christopher Robin. Imagine that.
Gentlemen, do you want that barbershop shave from the comfort of your own home? Try one.
I don't understand. Why is there someone else talking? Why did he call me Christopher Robin? He never calls me Christopher Robin.
Get your great big waterproof boots.
But it's the middle of the night.
2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Now.
I think it's time little Billy Moon got better acquainted with Big Moon himself. Who's 6?
Noises. There are nighttime noises.
That's because it's nighttime. Don't worry. Ready?
Yes. Go!
A person should do the things a person loves with the people a person loves. Because you never know what happens next.
What a very agile wolf. Do you think a giraffe would be happy with a wolf on his back? Oh, look who's here.
Blue! Mummy!
Hello. How are you, old chap?
Oh, you look such a dad. Didn't I say you'd look a dad?
We're going to have such times, Moon.
Shall we go to the woods?
The woods will have to wait. What do you think of this?
It's very shiny.
It's been sent to take us somewhere special. In London.
You're not staying?
No, we're just here to collect Billy. Go get changed, quick.
How do you do, Mr. Christopher Robin? My name is Mr. Elliot, and I am the manager of this fine toy shop.
What's a manager?
Well, I suppose I make all the decisions. I said, let's have a grand competition to win tea with the real Christopher Robin and the real Winnie the Pooh.
No, it's not real. It's a lie!
Excuse us. You're the luckiest boy in the world because you know the real Winnie the Pooh. Most people have to make do with a pretend one. You can make do just this once, can't you?
Are you my manager then?
Whatever gave you such a notion? I'm your mother. I've an idea. Why don't we do something ever so now?
Don't do Winnie's voice when it's not Winnie. It's nothing like Winnie. It's not even real.
Why is he called Winnie the Pooh?
Well, there's a swan, and I wanted to call it. And Blue, I mean Emil, I mean Daddy, said if you call it Pooh and it doesn't come, you can just pretend you were saying poo. So it's not a real name? My bear has a different name in real life. And I've got a different name in real life. And there's no good asking because we shan't tell. They're our names and we're keeping them.
This one's from Samoa.
Is there anywhere in the world where they haven't heard of Winnie the Pooh?
Perhaps the High Veld?
Can I go to the High Veld?
Don't you just look perfect? Nanny, a quick word. Thought you might wear this. Has panache, don't you think?
Like the one the nanny wears in Mr. Milne's poem?
Yes, exactly. Well, we don't want people to be disappointed because you don't look the way you do in the book.
I'm not in the book, ma'am. The nanny in the book is called Alice.
Only because it rhymes with palace, unlike nanny, which rhymes with nothing polite.
Are people going to look at us new, like they look at Winnie the Bear in the zoo?
No, Moon. I don't think they are. Because we are going to go in disguise.
Thank you very much for this interesting conversation.
Thank you, Master.
Goodbye.
Can I just ask something?
Well done. That's the last interview for today.
Read me a story.
I just read you your story. And we said prayers. So, good night.
Where are you going? You look different. Why do you look different? Give me a cuddle.
We've already had a perfectly lovely cuddle. Now it's my night off. The labourer has earned her rest. Good night.
Good evening to you.
Thank you, God, for another bright day. And now it's time to get up.
I'm not getting up. I'm not going to school.
Oh, now, come along. Where's my brave knight who fights dragons and climbs trees?
There are no dragons. There are no trees. Nobody loves me. You don't love me.
That's simply not true. You know I love you.
You love Alfred.
I love you both.
Don't marry him, Nu. Marry me. Please marry me.
Now, let's get dressed. Come along. Quicker, come on.
Well, are you going to tell us? Olive is getting married. She didn't inform me, Billy did.
I don't think Billy needs to hear this.
Why not? You've betrayed him as much as you've betrayed us.
Billy, go to your room, dear.
When is the happy event, by the way?
There is no date set as yet, ma'am.
But there is a gentleman, there is an understanding.
There's a gentleman, but no understanding as such, as yet.
I see. Well, may we be the first to congratulate you?
Yes.
What's his name?
Alfred. He's a good man. I never imagined.
Well, now we know why Billy has been so unhappy. It seems the person we've been paying to keep him happy has been rather preoccupied with her own happiness.
Daphne.
I feel it's time we start doing what's best for Billy Moon.
I couldn't agree more, ma'am. Because if I could speak frankly, sir...
You most certainly may not. That would be highly unprofessional.
Then I'll retire from my profession. With immediate notice.
I'm sure that won't be
Sir,
necessary.
I don't think you've been doing what's right for Billy. Not at all. You've been touting him around like a show pony hawking your books.
Now, just a minute.
He has to be allowed to grow up. He has to know he's important to someone. That someone cares about him.
Yes. I gave birth to him. He nearly killed me.
With respect, ma'am, a cow can give birth. I think you know all this, sir, but you let it go.
Have you seen this? Radio interview, newspaper interview, House of Lords to meet the lords and ladies, photograph. He can't do all this.
He can. He's rather good at it, apparently.
He's a little boy. How have we let this happen? He should be running around in the woods.
What's your favourite animal in the whole wide zoo?
Wildebeest.
You astound me. Why wildebeest?
Because they live on the high veld, and that's where I'd like to live.
Mr. Milne, so good to see you. And Christopher Robin is such a good friend of the zoo. We've had an idea. It really will be a superb picture. Quite safe. So long as you didn't make any sudden moves, young man. So good for the zoo.
Is it good for Billy?
It's all right, Blue.
Smile, Christopher Robin.
That's enough, I think.
Yeah, bring him out.
Could we go for ice cream now? I normally get ice cream after a photograph.
Excuse me, are you?
No. No, he's not.
Yes, he is.
He was. He's not anymore.
I don't understand.
Excuse us, please. Come on, Billy.
Come in, Billy. Close the door. I've made a decision, and I'd like you to be the first to know. I'm not going to write about Christopher Robin again. Or Winnie the Pooh, or Tigger, or any of them. Not another word.
Does this mean Winnie the Pooh will be just us again?
Winnie the Pooh's in the world now. I can't take him out of it. But I promise I'll never write another line about him. And you'll never have to dress up as Christopher Robin, or hold a fake teddy bear, or have your photograph taken for the papers, or have tea with lords and ladies ever again. And the day will come, it won't be long, when everyone will have forgotten all about Winnie. There's sure to be some other craze along any minute.
We won't forget him, though.
Us? Not likely. You don't even have to stay in London, come to think of it. Plenty of trees to climb out here.
It's a castle.
And no Christopher Robin, and no Winnie the Pooh. It's very good of you to let us fetch up in the middle of term like this. We were concerned...
Oh, no explanation required. First things first. How's your cricket?
I'm not sure. I've only really played with Blue. I like woodwork.
Come! Let me introduce you to Douglas Minor. This is Milne. Douglas Minor will keep an eye on you until you've settled in.
Hello.
That's really kind of you, Douglas Minor.
This is him. Looks like a girl, doesn't he? Christopher Robin, if we offer to throttle you, will you say your prayers?
Leave me alone.
Shut up.
Nobody cares. Nobody cares. Christopher Robin got shoved down the stairs. Nobody cares. Nobody cares. Christopher Robin got shoved down the stairs.
Nobody cares. Christopher Robin got shoved down the stairs. Nobody cares. Christopher Robin got shoved down the stairs. Nobody cares. Christopher Robin got shoved down the stairs. Shout, Christopher Robin.
Strip, cough, over there. Next. Name.
Milne. Christopher.
Strip, cough, over there. Next.
Look rather splendid, don't they?
I was in the last war. The war to end all wars.
Yes, well, that didn't work, it seems.
Thank God.
Rotten luck.
I'm sure you'll find another way to do your bit.
Oh, what nonsense.
Blue.
Let's all go home, shall we? Alan!
Town council's orders. Take down all road signs to confuse potential invaders. Hitler won't be able to ransack Uckfield if he can't find it. Right, there we are. Excellent. Winnie does his bit. He always hated the fascists, you know.
Do stop talking about that blasted bear. I want to join up, Blue. I want the chance to be Private Mill, 607841 or whatever, anonymous. A real person.
You failed the medical.
You can get me in.
No.
You're one of the best-loved men in the country. I helped you become that. Now it's your turn to help me.
I don't see what good this is going to do with the Nazis, Cam.
The Nazis are not coming to Cochford. They might drop a bomb on it accidentally.
Yes, well, let's hope you're right. Let's hope you're ready to defend my honour when they lay siege to East Grinstead. Yes. Well, I think it's time for me to pot my geraniums.
Daff not coming?
She couldn't. She...
Can't stand to see me in my uniform.
Yes. I wanted to talk to you about something.
Me first. They say you should get everything straight before you go away.
You're going to get through this.
That bear made my life a misery.
I know it was difficult.
Basic training was the same as school. No matter what I do, someone finds out and then hell.
As soon as I understood, I stopped writing it. What else could I do?
Nothing. I just want to be clear before.
Right. Well...
When I was Billy Moon, we played in the woods, and then you wrote that book, and it all stopped. As if it had all been a piece of research. You never came back.
That's not true. We played cricket, didn't we? Lots of cricket.
I was rubbish at it. You were mostly cross.
No. What about the time you bowled out their captain for a duck?
That was the one time. They gave me the ball. Here. It's for you.
Mr. Milne. Alfred. Good to see you, sir. Come in. Oh, yes, I brought you here for her. She thought you wouldn't mind. I'll get her.
Olive.
Mr. Milne, how lovely to see you. Oh, dear God. I'm sorry. I'm so sorry. So sorry, sir. He's not even mine. He's yours.
wrong. I didn't fit anywhere. Until I came here. Those days with you. I wanted to keep them all. Put them in a box.
The things that I said before I left.
They're all true. You're here. That's all that matters.
In the desert, we were under fire, and one of the men started singing one of the hums of Pooh. He changed the words a bit, but... you know. And I thought, how on earth do you know that song? And then I remembered, everyone on earth knows that song. But I knew it first. It was mine before it was anyone else's.
Then I gave it away.
When they were singing, they were remembering. It's like a magic charm. It took them home to a fireside and a storybook. You did that.
Thank you. I'm sorry you paid the price for it. If I'd known, perhaps I...
What? Not written it? No. You reminded people what happiness was, what childhood could be, when everything else was broken.
But your own childhood
Was wonderful. Growing up, that was hard.
Who would have guessed that bear would swallow us up?
Exactly. This was all ours, wasn't it? Before it was anyone else's.
Yes. And it always will be. Come on, then.
Where?
Home, I should think.